knock it back into put one throw. Nearly get that bad shot. Fire pulsar. Drop it in. Go New York City.
Oh, you got bumped twice.
Magic right there. Can he get the burst? Magic! And that's why they got him. Oh, New York City. 2 minutes, okay. Meanwhile, Yanni's gonna get the opening goal of this one again. Oh, New York City.
Just reliably stay in control no matter what. And they're taking advantage of the chaos. Here it comes.
Another one for Magic. Go New York City. 7-1.
Covering your team. Driving to the right side of the field.
Fire pulsar.
Pulsar scores it.
Get the aerial. He whiffed on the aerial. Free ball to the corner. Fire pulsar gonna get to it. There it is. Go New York City. Live from the city that never sleeps, this is New York City 12 Rocket League, brought to you by New York City Rising, shop NYC12.com, and of course, bangersonly.com. Hit it hard, hit it fast.
Back. We made it.
We are definitely back. Oh, it's so good to be back. I think I got you on audio. I hope I got you on audio. Let's double check. I thought I could have sworn. Can you say something again? I think I got you.
Yeah, I
got you.
Good to be back.
It's great to be back. Week 7, the regular season finale is here. It is your New York City 12 Rocket League taking on the Rio Grande Valley Stampede of the RGV Toros. I'm Jeff Weisinger, a.k.a. Wise Guy. Joining me, as always, the Plat legend, the Platinum God himself, the one, the only, Alan Pandering Boo. What's going on, man?
Hey, doing great. I made it to Diamond 2. This is a good week though so far. And hey, it's only getting warmed up. We got a big matchup I've been looking forward to. So great to be back on.
So does this make you the Diamond legend now? That is the big question here.
Oh, maybe if I can stay in Diamond 3 a little bit longer than I did a few nights ago, then you can follow up with me.
Oh, it's so good to be back. We got a big one tonight. A lot of implications on the line. New York City 12, obviously one of the top teams in the league, already qualified for the playoffs, already locked down their spot. But now for the first time, they're going after a top seed. Talk about the magnitude of this matchup. Granted, they're already in, so it's not like you lose anything. It's not a winner in kind of deal, but we're talking about a big match. It's really a top seed in the playoffs.
Yes, and it's a top seed, and of course the Rio Grande Valley is not the Rio Grande Valley that your dad grew up with. This is another new iteration from a very fascinating team. It doesn't reflect their score. The standings don't reflect how well they've done RGV, but I really do think Patabread and Mike and Eddie have a big chance to be able to play a little bit of a spoiler, get some points back on the table, and kind of put New York City 12 to the test this match. And that's what I do honestly expect.
Alan, Pat, this has been rivalry dating back to SGL1, to the first season of SGL1, I mean. And you played against them in the 2-3 seasons you played for the team. Talk about this kind of like almost de facto type rivalry.
It is an amazing rivalry. I'm very honored to be a part of. Not honored that they are actually one of the teams on my list of teams I have not beaten yet to this date. They got us in the playoffs. They play a very nice Smash Mouth style. They can demo as well as our Magic can, and they also have a very good sense of hitting the ball in the air. Great mid-aerial, high aerial skills, and also just great positional and sense and a great trust in their own teammates to be able to play. That's the RGV I definitely know they're capable of. And it is so mind-boggling to me that, they haven't been in contention for a playoff spot, that they have struggled very weirdly, which is why I still think, after thinking about how New York City 12 struggled against El Matador, maybe there's a little bit of a chance those guys at RGV are convincing themselves they might have a chance at an upset tonight.
Talking about the upset, this could be, in a sense, kind of a trap game for New York City 12 when you think about it. A team that's been so dominant through the entire season. We talked about just the complete demolition last week. Going to a match like this, it's almost like this is the last hurdle before the playoffs, right? You want to end the season on a high note. It's against a rival side that we talked about. Talk about the pressure, whatever pressure is on this New York City 12 team.
Well, they got to perform. Inconsistency is every team's enemy. Doesn't matter if you're in SGL2, SGL1, if you've been contending or not contending. Everyone's probably felt to themselves, man, I did not play well that game. I didn't play well against these guys, and we should have. So I definitely feel like those demons are bound. And especially in this game, I definitely think so. I definitely got that when we closed out Season 3, my last ever regular season game for 12. We played against Viking Army. And I thought, as soon as that first game went down and we lost to Viking Army the first game, it was like, oh boy, this is definitely going to be that. It's going to be a repeat. History's going to repeat itself again. And then, as luck would have it, Fire Pulsar came through for us, and Chuko and I would just solidly finish the job, and we finished off Viking Army to knock off another team off my list of teams I've not beaten. But that's why I'm so hype about this. I don't know what New York City 12 we're going to get. And I already told you I don't know what kind of RGV we're going to get tonight. This is definitely a match of the unknowns. If you're a sports booker, you probably think you can make some profit tonight, for sure.
We talk about match of the unknowns, and it feels like we know this New York City 12 well. And granted, look, all transparency of us owning the team, we feel like we know them very well throughout the season. Again, we've covered them all season. We watched them all season. Really, the lone blemish was against the lone blemish being against El Matador. In whatever you want to call that series. But this has been a team that's been just absolutely dominant throughout the lineup tonight. Fire Pulsar and Yanni are right back in it, finishing the season, playing all the matches. And for the first time since week 1, we get Diz. Talk about that kind of break, right? 6 weeks off almost. Like, what should we expect out of young Diz tonight?
We kind of buried the lead over there for our audience, so we do apologize. But yes, indeed, that big unknown. RGV got to see a completely different New York City 12 tonight. We thought, Magic and Marcus was going to be set. That's what we knew from 24 hours ago. And then here we are, and the little plans change here and there with everyone's obligations, understandably. And I'm very confident with this. I know the insiders' money is probably on the fact that this is probably not at the level of Pulsar and Magic, as well as Magic and Marcus have been playing. But dude, hang on just a second here. Diz has averaged 1 goal per game. I feel like Diz, with his reflexes, which is exactly why we brought him on the team, and the fact that he's learned so well in our youth program, I have absolute full confidence that he'll be able to do well. And also, he stepped in 20 minutes notice, not just for the match where I couldn't make it last season, Season 3, but also he stepped in on 2 days' notice to help us out, help rep New York City Rising in a tournament pre-season that was done on a Smash.gg, one that, they almost made cash. I was really impressed with Diz's form. Magic taught him very well. Pulsar, being the great coach and leader that he is, we gave Diz so much of the resources, and he's run with it. I really like Diz's play in general. I feel like, New York City 12 has been in worse places. I expect good things out of him. I do not think it will slow New York City 12 down too much.
Talk about just the magnitude of this matchup for this team, right? We're talking about a team that was very excited coming in, a team that was dominant. This team had a mission going into the season, and now really they kind of like almost complete with that first step, right? Get to the playoffs, but not just get to the playoffs, but getting as a top seed, getting as probably the number 1 seed. Talk about what a win tonight, even if it was a dominant or not, what a win tonight would mean for this side.
I have got to say, I've started out being in New York City 12 since Season 2. I've been in the image. I've been in those days where, it was just get the supporters together, get the gang together on a Saturday and play, and it's just some completely different time. I am absolutely still blown away by how far our team has come. But then again, Wise Guy, this is exactly why we signed these people. This is why, you went out and got Fire Pulsar and Marcus. We wanted the leadership, we wanted the great character, we want the intensity, we wanted them to perform. And oh, by the way, those guys are friends. Those guys have amazing chemistry together. They have just about the whole package, the entire package. Frankly, if you're asking those guys, and if you're asking me, we needed this. We were not going to accept something like this. And obviously, this is Rocket League. It's like betting on any other sports in hockey and baseball. I know well. I'm the compulsive guy. I've seen the scenes. I've seen what it's like to bet and handicap these things. It's difficult. Variance is a big factor in Rocket League. Inconsistencies, everyone was enemy. But at the same time, what New York City 12 has done so well is just combining their skill sets and just trusting in the passing play so well, on top of the mechanical prowess. I think New York City 12, this iteration of this team, absolutely said to themselves, we know we can make it, we're going to make it. The only worst enemy is not another team, it's ourselves. That's the New York City 12 that I imagine when we're thinking about the guys I believe in, Diz, Pulsa, and Marcus and Yanni. I mean, those guys have just been amazing, and also, you know, all the guys behind the scenes, all the guys on the tape. We have a huge coaching bit. I know I'm leaving somebody out here. That's exactly why I'm stalling for the words. Pardon me there. Just thinking about the whole unit and the real team effort that's gone into this program, it's just amazing to watch. It's just, I'm at a loss of words because I'm just excited. I'm that excited about this team that, you know, we get to be in charge of it too, wise guy.
I mean,
I'm really excited for them.
I mean, really, we've seen this program really change and grow and kind of really become something. And, you know, for us personally, like it's definitely become, you know, it's definitely an achievement for what we've been able to build and what we've been able to do. Whether, you know, we were quote unquote not supposed to take this so seriously or not, however you want to put it. But, you know, we were able to find the right guys. We were able to find the right people to perform in. Again, we talk about a league that's becoming more and more competitive by the season, right? We had people in teams drop out because they got too competitive, quote, you know, to say. And so to see like what this team has done, to see what Fire Pulse has done, to see what they've done with the opportunity to kind of be in a league and kind of how the league's kind of really grown to him and warmed up to him and everything, you know, just kind of knowing that, yeah, it's one of our guys. I think it's pretty cool. But all right, enough with the sappy stuff. We got some Rocket League to get to you guys. When we return, we can take a quick break, but when we return is game 1 between New York City 12 and the RGV Stampede. Stay tuned. Pulsar, drop it in. Go New York City. 5-0.
When it rains, it pours. Wansboro whiffed it and that got smoked. Fire Pulsar just read that. That's just a combination of expertise and confidence in playing, wise guy.
This is absolute dominance by New York City right now.
I'm going to pull out the visual aids because I love when Fire Pulsar gets the insight about what pre-jump is. Dude, this is exactly the El Matador game plan that we saw and that we saw from the playoffs last season when we played, I believe it was Rio Grande Valley. The pre-jump is when, well, yeah, you're going with the ball and you're head on, and the defender is just in the air and making the car big. Like, New York City 12 always goes against top opposition, against those teams that just have that great reflex and the great insight. And I think when I was on the roster, I would do my best to be that kind of player. Like, I don't have that mechanical air dribble kind of flip reset off the ceiling skills back then, but I think one thing that really made me stand out and will make any SRL player stand out is just, you see the ball, you see the opponents coming at it, just make a play on it. Don't worry so much if they're going to fake you or if they're going to try to do something fancy. If all else fails, just put your car, get yourself big in there. And I think El Matador did exactly that. They followed their game plan exactly as we saw it. I am the least bit surprised.
Vital! Can't take a bow and welcome to the SRL. Go New York City.
It was a 3-0 lead, and then Magic with a strategic whiff. Vital finishes off New York City 12's up 4 in a minute and a half. This I definitely did not see coming, wise.
Can Southmost get anything going? Double whiff. Magic right there. Knocked, just tipped away by Hirsch. Fire Pulsar settles it back down. To the corner. A brace for the rookie. Go New York City.
Oh my goodness, there's nothing New York City 12 can do wrong here. What a strike! 63 miles per hour, the BangersOnly.com radar. biggest testament to the league is that we're making new soccer fans as well. Like, we have people in New York City 12, our boy Daniel. I mean, we're getting him into soccer. I'm getting into soccer. I went to a New York City FC game because of you, Wise Guy. You know, because, you know, we got in town together when you were out of work during vacation. You know, you came on over here. And that's why I'm such a believer in this league more than anything. You know, we want to see this league. We've become shareholders of a way. And we believe in it. We see the whole time. It's not just Twitch metrics and numbers. It's just, you know, how excited we see everybody playing that, how we see these same faces in those weeknight scrims that we play against. That's why I still take part of it, even though I'm not on the roster anymore, mind you.
As looks like Pundit wins that kickoff and is going to the wall. Dak going to try to equalize it immediately. Yanni knocks it away. And again, Alan, we talked about this defending off the bat for New York City. Meanwhile, Magic over right there, knocked away wide by Wansboro. We talked about the defending by New York City. As strong as the attack's been, this defending has been absolutely top-notch.
It's all about playing by the book, just covering your team, driving to the right side of the field. Fireposter scores it!
Go, New York City! Big cross by Yanni. Magic just knocks it down and five-posted there on the second chance shot. Wanbro just cannot reach it. A big start, a big 2 quick goals for New York City. Week out and day in, day out, really. But when you see it live it's just absolutely fun to watch.
Wise Guy, you don't argue against effectiveness. I mean, this team doesn't make every single shot. They don't turn every opportunity into a goal, but they just reliably stay in control no matter what. And they take advantage of the chaos. Here it comes!
Another one for Magic. Go, New York City, 7-1.
Let's book that trip to Brazil, Wise Guy, through bangersonly.com.
We had to have the Brazil. We had to have the Brazil scoreline, 7-1.
Just lost track of that. Impulse just snuck in. That's how you know New York City 12 is on high gear.
4-0 in game one, and we still have just under 2 minutes left to play. How much more damage can New York City do? Can Burn just score one just to get any kind of momentum to get in this series? Magic can knock it back in the corner. Wansboro nearly get that shot. Fire poster, drop it in. Go, New York City. 5-0.
When it rains, it pours. Wansboro whiffed it and Dak got smoked. Fire Pulsar just read that. That's just a combination of expertise and confidence in playing, Wise Guy.
This is absolute dominance by New York City right now.
I'm going to pull out the visual aids because I love when Fire Pulsar gets the insight about what pre-jump is. Dude, this is exactly the El Matador game plan that we saw and that we saw from the playoffs last season when we played, I believe it was Rio Grande Valley. The pre-jump is when, well, yeah, you're going with the ball and you're head on and the defender is just in the air and making the car big. Like New York City 12 always goes against top opposition, against those teams that just have that great reflex and the great insight. And I think when I was on the roster, I would do my best to be that kind of player. Like, I don't have that mechanical air dribble kind of flip reset off the ceiling skills back then, but I think one thing that really made me stand out and will make any SRL player stand out is just, you see the ball, you see your opponents coming at it, just make a play on it. Don't worry so much if they're going to fake you or if they're going to try to do something fancy. If all else fails, just put your car, get yourself big in the air. And I think El Matador did exactly that. They followed their game plan exactly as we saw it. I am the least bit surprised.
Vital! Take a bow and welcome to the SRL. Go New York City.
It was a 3-0 lead, and then Magic with a strategic whiff. Vital finishes off. New York City 12's up 4 in a minute and a half. This I definitely did not see coming, Wise.
Can Southmost get anything going? Double whiff. Magic right there. Just tipped away by Hirsch. Fire Pulse settles it back down. To the corner. A brace for the rookie. Go New York City.
Oh my goodness, there's nothing New York City 12 can do wrong here. What a strike! 63 miles per hour, the BangersOnly.com radar. Biggest testament to the league is that we're making new soccer fans as well. Like, we have people in New York City 12, our boy Daniel. I mean, we're getting him into soccer. I'm getting into soccer. I went to a New York City FC game because of you, Wise Guy. You know, because, you know, we got in town together when you were out of work during vacation. You know, you came on over here. And that's why I'm such a believer in this league more than anything. You know, we want to see this league. We've become shareholders of a way. And we believe in it. We see the whole time. It's not just Twitch metrics and numbers. It's just, you know, how excited we see everybody playing that, how we see these same faces in those weeknight scrims that we play against. And that's why I still take part of it, even though I'm not on the roster anymore, mind you.
As looks like Pundit wins that kickoff and is going to the wall. Dak going to try to equalize it immediately. Yanni knocks it away. And again, Alan, we talked about this defending off the bat for New York City. Meanwhile, Magic over right there, knocked away wide by Wansboro. We talked about the defending by New York City. As strong as the attack's been, this defending has been absolutely top-notch.
It's all about playing by the book, just covering your team, driving to the right side of the field. Fire Pulsa scores it.
Go, New York City. Big cross by Yanni. Magic just knocks it down and fire posted there on a second chance shot. Wanbro just cannot reach it. A big start, a big 2 quick goals for New York City. Week out and day in, day out, really. But when you see it live it's just absolutely fun to watch.
Wise Guy, you don't argue against effectiveness. I mean, this team doesn't make every single shot. They don't turn every opportunity into a goal, but they just reliably stay in control no matter what. And they take advantage of the chaos. Here it comes!
Another one for Magic. Go, New York City, 7-1.
Let's book that trip to Brazil, Wise Guy, through BangersOnly.com.
We had to have the Brazil. We had to have the Brazil scoreline 7-1.
Just lost track of that. Impulse just snuck in. That's how you know New York City 12 is on high gear.
4-0 in game 1, and we still have just under 2 minutes left to play. How much more damage can New York City do? Can Burn just score 1 just to get any kind of momentum to get in this series? Magic could knock it back in the corner. Wansboro nearly get that magic shot. Fire Pulsar, drop it in. Go New York City. 5-0.
When it rains, it pours. Wansboro whiffed it and that got smoked. Fire Pulsar just read that. That's just a combination of expertise and confidence in playing, wise guy.
This is absolute dominance by New York City right now.
I'm gonna pull out the visual aids because I love when Fire Pulsar gets the insight about what pre-jump is. Dude, this is exactly the El Matador game plan that we saw and that we saw from the playoffs last season when we played, I believe it was Rio Grande Valley. The pre-jump is when, you're going with the ball and you're head on, and the defender is just in the air and making the car big. Like, New York City 12 always goes against top opposition, against those teams that just have that great reflex and the great insight. And I think when I was on the roster, I would do my best to be that kind of player. Like, I don't have that mechanical air dribble kind of flip reset off the ceiling skills back then, but I think one thing that really made me stand out and will make any SRL player stand out is just, you see the ball, you see the opponents coming at it, just make a play on it. Don't worry so much if they're going to fake you, or if they're going to try to do something fancy. If all else fails, just put your car, get yourself big in the air. And I think El Matador did exactly that. They followed their game plan exactly as we saw it. I am the least bit surprised.
Vital! Take a bow and welcome to the SRL. Go New York City.
It was a 3-0 lead, and then Magic with a strategic whiff. Vital finish.
All right, guys, we are back. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties right now with the few of the guys, so we're gonna buy a little bit of time at the moment. So just kind of bear with us while we get everything set. We all been a technical delay, so we apologize for the delay, guys. We will have Game 1 and this series on shortly. Alan, you're talking about how you kind of got jump setting or jump resetting. Kind of explain it again, just for those who haven't seen it the first time.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I've been trying in the last several weeks when I personally been solo queuing. And I noticed I went from Diamond 1 to Diamond 2 and up. Several weeks ago, I think Fire Pulsar was saying, what New York City 12 needs to work on is how do they respond when the other team just gets in the way of the ball. They set the ball, and then the other team literally just jumps and then pre-jumps and gets into the ball, gets in the way and the trajectory of it. Well, Rocket League really is a game about speed, outright boost managing efficiently, and then whenever they sense that the opponent's getting the beat on them, just driving as fast as possible to get that hit on the ball. Pulsa has done such a great job, just no matter what his teammates, who his teammates are, what lineup he has, he can teach them very well. And he taught me how to just, focus on scoring up the ball and just booming it downfield. So you're putting the other team on the back foot. I feel like that's helped me out very much. It'll definitely help you in Diamond 2s, Plat levels, even Champion level, I argue, because a lot of the guys in Diamond 2 that I've been playing against, they definitely have the wherewithal, the hallmarks of playing in Champion levels. The only difference is, can they position and not double commit, wise guy? And it drives me insane just to play these games all the time, the double committing. And what the benefit of us in commentary, when you're watching these games, you can see if you can pick out what team positions very, very nicely and what teams just desperately go all out for the ball. Like, they all just want a piece of that action, no matter the consequences.
One thing we haven't talked much about this throughout the season, but Yanni's impact on the team and kind of being a third man between Marcus and Magic, kind of getting lost in that shadow. Talk about his impact and what he brings to the table.
I think he's incredibly well-rounded, and you know what? He plays really, really well with Marcus. With not just Marcus, but with Fire Pulsar. Fire Pulsar and Yanni have put a lot of time in during the off season of season 3 into this season, like a lot of time. He would always come in with the weeknight scrims. I love his work ethic. I'm very impressed with his consistent play. He just does about anything with great proficiency, whether it's defending or shooting. And, all New York City 12 has been able to nail all of those aspects. If there's one thing that they all needed to work on, if I think back to the El Matador game, it's just, don't get lost in the middle of the field and don't give away those balls. And again, pre-jump, have a backup plan as to, well, the opponent gets a beat on you. Don't drive too far up the field and trust the rotation. Wise guy, you've been telling me this a lot when we were in IGL between season 2 and season 3. New York City 12, a good way to beat them is, if you see the opportunity where our team just is out of position a little bit and not really driving forward and hitting the ball with conviction, that absolutely is an opportunity for any team to score in this league, even against New York City 12, which, here's a fun fact. I'm looking at the standings board for SRL League 1, and on the average, as the rest of this thing's updated, through 12 matches, New York City 12 has only given up 14 goals. So their average of goals given up is very, very, very low. And I feel like that's a big point of a fulcrum point for our team, isn't it?
I think that's one thing that we have to kind of discuss is that the fact that all the talk throughout the season has been about how strong this attack has been, how dominant they've been on the offensive side, but for how sharp they've been offensively, they've been just as sharp, if not the sharpest it's ever been defensively.
I think that's what we needed to work on for season 3 when we were playing. The tough teams when we were in season 3 were against Tigers SG, and I guess against El Matador in the playoffs and RGV. Yeah, because it was a breakdown in just covering in the midfield and in just getting our passes picked off. I remember like when yours truly was in the lineup, wise guy. Yours truly didn't really think that much about what the benefit is of deflecting the ball, learning how the hitboxes of the car works. It's just, I just hit the ball straight forward. It's not really, I'm going to edge the ball with the door of the car and find the angle so I can pick up Truco or I can have Pulsar pick up the action, because New York City 12 improving, so much of it comes from just knowing where the other person is and just knowing the mechanics of driving. I love that so much about our current season 4 team, is that we don't count on them to make a mistake. We don't expect them to make a mistake, and we know they have a wonderful sense, a game sense, that's a cut above what we had. And you definitely expect that goal differential to really go up. It really blew my mind. I'm looking at the 5. It's like, there's no way we didn't even give up more than 1.5 goals per game, which would multiply out to 4.5 a match. That's stunning, given the opposition. Given, we played against Star Clouds and El Matador. That's amazing to me. It's really stunning stuff. Just wait till the stats update again, because our guys are hard at work. The stats, by the way, we're finding it on sgleague.online. You can check that out just to see how the whole stats for goal totals and goal differentials break down between us and the top teams, which is El Matador, Cauldron, La Cinco Doce. That's a reality, wise guy. We made it. We literally, we're batting in that weight class. We're punching at that level. That's amazing to me.
What has been your favorite memory of the season so far? Whether it be a goal, a moment,
I am absolutely counter to the meta of the recency bias. I think the fact that we showed off so well against the roadies, and when it was a 2 out of 3 showcase, that impromptu 2 out of 3 showcase, I knew then, even though obviously the results should have been better for us, it was a 3v2, I knew then we had something incredibly promising, and I knew the league would still have a lot of question marks about, is New York City 12 really that legitimate? They only had to go against 2 guys from the roadies. We still had to go against Pandy. We still had to go against a very solid lineup, the 2-car team that they had. I knew from that point on, when Diz played that well, when, oh my gosh, when Pulsar was on it and Magic was just setting the tone, that's still mine. That literally still my point. The season opener for this season, absolutely. What was yours?
I think for me, the Roadies debut for sure, because that was, one we definitely wanted, granted, even with the issues, and I think we kind of saw both sides of New York City 12, where we saw their youth and we saw them kind of like overcome adversity. I think the the Dallas Burn one because that was just a pure ass kicking. But last week against Southmost was just like, I mean, that team couldn't play any more of a perfect game if they tried, right? That was just absolute, just dominance from end to end. Everything clicked, everything went perfect, and it's one of those nights where you're just like, it was just so fun to watch them play that,
I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a secret, behind the curtain kind of trick. Oh, wise guy, I need you to exit the lobby because we had the lobby accidentally begin. I'm remaking the lobby right now.
Okay.
So everybody.
So in the meanwhile,
yeah.
So we're going to do for you guys. What we're going to do for you guys in the meanwhile, while we have a technical delay, we're going to go to We're going to pretty much treat it like a rain delay at the moment. We're going to go to replay of last week's win against Southmost SG while we get everything sorted out. So once we have everything sorted out, we'll check back in with you guys, and hopefully soon enough we'll get game one going. So ladies and gentlemen, we're in a technical delay. This is the esports version of a rain delay, essentially. And stay tuned with us. So we're going to go to just a replay VOD from last week against our win against Southmost, and while we try to get everything figured out. And we will catch you guys in a little bit. We'll keep you guys updated. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for your patience, and we'll catch you in a few. As looks like Pundit wins that kickoff and is going to the wall. Dak going to try to equalize it immediately. Yanni knocks it away. And again, Alan, we talked about this defending off the bat for New York City. Meanwhile, Magic over right there, knocked away wide by Wansboro. We talked about the defending by New York City. As strong as the attack's been, this defending has been absolutely top notch.
It's all about playing by the book, just covering your team, driving to the right side of the field. Firepulsa scores it.
Go, New York City! Big cross by Yanni. Magic
even
just
though
knocks
I
it
had
down
2
in
seasons to
5
play, and going through this season through scrims, I'm still trying to pick things up, and you're still trying to learn. I can only imagine, coming in here, you got to take what you already know and then work on it. It's training. It's on the job training. It's pretty intense trial by fire. And with these guys are concerned, I think they just need to tell themselves they believe in each other, and they got to play. They got to live in the moment and play off any mistakes that they make. And the big thing that I was going to get at, what's unique about the Dallas SGs are, they all know each other pretty well, wise guys. So I think they should be able to take that advantage to at least play some kind of coherent rotation and just follow up and try to support their own team that way. I do expect that out of them tonight. And then you can hear me, right? Yeah, Magic was asking we good, and I said 19 more seconds. Ooh! Oh man, everyone's on the line for the burn. They're very complacent, wise guy. I really think the burn should be more aggressive here. Oh. Off the roof, off the bat, NYC12 take the lead thanks to Magic's mid-aerial supremacy.
Oh my god, and what a goal by Magic. Now do we have the sound issues taken care of. Big goal by Magic, another hot start for this New York City team. Just like that 1-0 goal, New York City, as looks like Pundit wins that kickoff and is going to the wall. Dak going to try to equalize it immediately. Yanni knocks it away. And again, Alan, we talked about this defending off the bat for New York City. Meanwhile, Magic over right there, knocked away wide by Wansboro. We talked about the defending by New York City. As strong as the attack's been, this defending has been absolutely top-notch.
It's all about playing by the book, just covering your team, driving to the right side of the field. Firepulsa scores it.
Go, New York City! Big cross by Yanni. Magic just knocks it down and fire-posted there on the second chance shot. Wansboro just cannot reach it. A big start, a big 2 quick goals for New York City.
What really helps is, and I think what the Burn needs to address here, is they need cars to be able to challenge the ball. It makes your defending job way easier when the other team is just playing too far apart and not looking for the pass, which Firepulse is telling me is a big must for any team. He almost got that one.
Yanni right there. Can you knock this one in? Yanni, oh, just high the crossbar. Magic looking to finish, and Punter's going to knock it away. And yeah, we talk about, you know, just the cohesiveness. We talk about the Burn kind of be inexperienced Magic, right? To try and knock it in. Loose ball, can he want to get the Yanni? He's going to knock it just right to the corner. Magic going to play off the wall now. Punter's going to knock it back and try to put in the clear. Firepulse, can he get him and drop in? It's going to go just high and wide.
Physical play. I love to see it.
What a start for an incredibly strong start for New York City. Yanni now going to try to play it back to the ground. Wansborough right there. He's going to go just wide. Net deck. He's going to go. Oh, just missed it. Oh, that's a big missed opportunity for the Burn to pull one back.
New York City 12 doing a nice job not letting that into the own goal. That was a huge opportunity, and 12 still defending this ball. Magic came back late, but look at him. They're trying to work a passing lane here.
A little bit double committing right there. Seems like they kind of got it down. Firepulse. Dak, can he get his one to drop in? Magic's going to tap it away. Wansborough going to try to settle it down. Firepulse is going to challenge him and win it. Yanni, can he get this one to go? Pundit's going to knock it back to the wall. It looks like Dallas has kind of settled down since the opening minute. Now the question is, can they get one back, or will New York City add a third halfway through game one?
It's not just the positioning. I feel like it is the speed. New York City 12 is using their mechanical prowess and just their confidence to drive. They missed that one, and that's the difference I still see the Burn needing to overcome. Oh, here's the opportunity.
Magic right there. Can he get in? Guess who? It's Magic. Go New York City.
That's exactly what I was saying. They drive really fast so they can cover the ball. Magic getting the strike. I know a certain somebody on the old New York City 12 who was able to finish a few of these, if I could say so myself, Jeff.
Well, I believe it might be the Platt legend himself who could finish a few of them, and maybe whiff the other 5. Meanwhile, Wansborough wins the kickoff on this one.
Here he comes.
Trust me, if it's between you and me, I would probably miss all 10 of those chances. It's not even close. Magic can try to get this one far post. Dak's going to knock it back to midfield and knock it back towards New York City's corner. An insanely strong start. Another big, strong game one start for New York City. Taking advantage of a new and inexperienced Dallas Burn side. Firepulse can carry this one in. Walks it in. The captain scores. Go New York City.
Yeah,
and really just doing himself.
They were trying to string something together. They had the ball in New York City 12's territory, and then they just lost track of that. And Impulse just snuck in. That's how you know New York City 12 is on high gear.
4-0 in game one, and we still have just under 2 minutes left to play. How much more damage can New York City do? Can Burn just score one just to get any kind of momentum to get in this series? Magic can knock it back in the corner. Wansborough nearly get that mad shot. Firepulse, drop it in. Go New York City! 5-0.
When it rains, it pours. Wansborough whiffed it and Dak got smoked. Firepulse just read that. That's just a combination of expertise and confidence in playing, wise guy.
This is absolute dominance by New York City right now. 5-0, a minute and a half left here in game number 1. There's still 2 games left. Oh, goodness. You know what's interesting when you think about it? When you're a new team, you don't know what to expect, and you have your scrims, and you probably do well during the week and in between matches whenever you grind. But to come into a match against an attack like this and just thinking maybe, and then just have that kind of start, it has to be deflating, doesn't it? Speaking of deflating, Magic, the Magic Show in high gear. Go New York City.
Right from good range, and he gets the perfect angle of the wall to set a Magic who reads it so well. The passes are coming together in New York City 12. To your point, wise guy, I've been in that situation where we played the Tigers, we played Los Verdes, and Viking Army from Season 2. It is, but the reality is, it's all about fixing what you can fix, looking back at the tape, and then I don't see the Burn are too far off in terms of being competitive. As we see New York City 12 trying to mount another one, and the Burn trying to counter here. And again, you got to keep in mind, the chemistry's on point right there. Oh my goodness, what a finish. Oh, Magic set him up. The captain finishes. Go New York City. 7-0 with still 39 seconds left to play. Oh, that's just literally not able to do it. The first touch is pretty much the guy who whiffs first is probably having the most contrived response. They probably should have gotten that, but in all honesty, this is through and through a game that New York City 12 had control of. I feel like the Burn just needs to be able to take this into the. Oh man, another one for the 12.
Oh, another goal for the captain. Goal, New York City. Looks like there may be a little bit of lag, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was a very pandering-esque goal, if I may say so myself, and we've seen some pandering-esque goals.
Yeah, Magic is feeling it. I wouldn't blame him because this is a feel of a team that is putting the standards on themselves to win as many series as possible and not even make the goal differential a factor. Oh, here comes a good set down to the middle. I wonder if the counter's going to come here finally for the Bird. Oh, just short on the aerial.
Meanwhile, Pundit misses the save. Yanni right there trying to set something up. Magic, can he finish it? Magic can just drop in the far corner. Oh, just off the crossbar. Far post, can't get the far post. Pundit knocks it away. Big save. Oh, just to avoid a 9th goal. My goodness. Do we even need to say New York City 12 takes game 1 absolutely easily. 1-0 in the series. They take game 1, 8-0. Ladies and gents, we'll be right back. Don't go away. Game 2 right around the corner. Stay tuned. After dominant game 1 for New York City, what do they have for game 2? As Dak's going to win this kickoff, Yanni tried to get the fast kickoff and just whiffed it. And kind of gets away with it a little bit.
Ooh.
Maybe a sloppy start for New York City right there. Yanni can knock this one away. And a better start in the attack by the Burn after that 8-0 slacking in game 1 by New York City.
Literally all you can do after you have it. If you can't respond in the game, just respond in the intermission where you're all collected, you're going to go back to your reflexes and just trust in that it's going to be different. Ooh, you almost missed that one to clear.
I will say this is a better start for the Burn, who have not allowed a goal in the first 35 seconds in game 1, in game 2. My goodness.
Oh, here it comes down to the point.
Magic working the wall. Warrensboro, good challenge by Warrensboro. Knock it away. Yep. Big demo right there by from Pundit to Yanni. F's in chat. Pundit, can you knock it in? Almost big save by Yanni.
He came in from the far post. I think that's what helped him with the save. He got lucky there.
Oh, and almost a second chance goal for Dallas right there. And Magic. Oh, can he walk this one in? Dak knocks it away. Big save. Big stop right there. Magic with a shot on goal. Yanni, this ball's going to go high. And we get to it. Magic right there. Knock it wide. A better start for Dallas in this one. And this may be the one concern for New York City. We've seen this in game. We saw this in the season opener, where they will have such a strong start and kind of tail off a bit in the middle games.
There's an inside joke in the scrims, the weeknight scrims that we do, Wise Guy, where everybody just starts to sandbag, like we're trolling low-key. I'm not sure I'm seeing that in this game. I just feel like the Burn is just getting in some good rhythm. They're not positioning themselves like crazy. They're hitting a lot more of their shots. So I give them a lot of credit on that.
Meanwhile, this one nearly dropped in for Magic. Dak's going to knock it wide. Magic right there. Going to get it back to the wall. Yanni going to try to keep the ball in play inside Dallas's half. Fire pulser to the net. Big save by Warrensboro. Dak's going to knock it back to the wall. Almost the first goal of the match for New York City.
I want to see that save again. That was really dazzling stuff there. In the clutch.
Magic can try to get underneath. No. Fire poster just whiffs on the second chance ball. Pundit can try to play it off just close to the wall now. Yanni can try to back it up. Warrensboro can keep control. Dak, can he get the aerial? He whiffs on the aerial. Free ball to the corner. Fire poster, can he get to it? There it is! Goal, New York City! The captain makes it 1-0 in game 2.
It looks easy, Wise Guy, but this one is not. He did not really have the angle, and once Rowe jumped, maybe he would have gotten it on, but that's on Fire Pulse's hustle to make it a 1-0 game.
And finally, the breakthrough for New York City in game number 2, 1-0, halfway through game number 2 in this one. Meanwhile, Dak, can he get the equalizer right there? Magic, big save!
I love what I saw there. That was a close one.
Oh, that was almost... Dallas has gotten very close to scoring their first goal of the series, let alone equalizing in this game or taking the lead early on. They have gotten really close to scoring. I'm not sure if that's going to be a concern for New York City going forward, but it has to be on the back of the mind. It's still only a 1-0 game. Anything can happen. You and I have seen it. You can be down 4 in the final minute and still come back to win. So this game is far from over. Yanni almost Fire Pulsar almost again with a goal. There it is. Goal, New York City. The captain makes it a brace.
Miles per hour on the bangersonly.com radar gun. Hey, Jeff, the speed is low, but so are the prices at bangersonly.com.
Keep in mind, it's not about how hard you bang it. It's about it's about getting it in. Know what I mean? 2-0, New York City. Into the final 2 minutes of this one. Longo gets his attack. There it is. 2-1. Goal, Burn.
Dallas Burn on the board with a very well done cross off the board, wise guy. I like that a lot. 68 miles per hour. How's that on the bangersonly.com radar gun?
Hey, anything you can bang, I can bang harder. Know what I mean? 2-1, New York City, and this might have just became a game. Can New York City get pulled back up 2 again? Magic try to make something happen in the air. The ball's gonna stay towards the ceiling. Wansboro's gonna miss it. Fire Pulse is gonna miss it. Free ball to the corner. Free ball to the corner now. Yanni, can he get control of it? And Wansboro's going to win the challenge. Ball in the middle. Can anyone get to it? Pundit's going to knock it back to the corner. New York City, a little bit of desperation. A little bit double committing that corner now. Pundit's going to knock it back. And it looks like Burns going to play it back. Yanni right now trying to get off the wall. Knocked away by Wansboro. Back to the wall. And you have to give Dallas credit. This is a much closer game than game 1. It seems like they might have woken up a little bit.
They've definitely been hitting the ball so much better. I see the team play over here, and Magic's gonna go for it. Oh,
almost. The Magic Show yet to make the appearance in game number 2 so far, but what a start in game 1. I'll tell you that much. Yanni right now playing it middle of the field. Pundit gonna give chase. Gonna play it off the wall. If they're bounced, can anyone get it? Wansboro kind of kills that challenge just a little bit, and Dak will knock it back towards New York City's half. Magic now gonna play it down. Wansboro now towards New York City's corner. Can they get the equalizer here? Yanni trying to get out of the way, just can't fully clear it. Fire Pulse can help him out. And this ball's gonna go back towards Dallas's half. Fire Pulse trying to play the corner. Fire Pulse, can he want to get to the middle? No one there. Both Magic and Yanni tracking back. Magic can get it back into Dallas's half now right now. And really, it doesn't. I don't know if it's Dallas just playing better in this game or if just New York City's just not finding the same kind of chances they did in game number 1. But this is a way closer game. New York City could win this one 2-1. Unless Dallas makes something happen here in the final 5 seconds. Can they finish this one?
Oh, yeah.
Can they finish this one? 3. Ball's going to cross to the corner. 3, 2, 1. Ball in the middle. Dangerous ball. Wansboro right there is going to hit the ground. That's going to do it. A close one, but it's still another win for New York City 12. We go up 2-0 in the series, taking game 2, 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see if New York City 12 can get the sweep. We will take a quick break and be right back. Stay tuned. Game 3 underway, and it's Fire Pulse that wins the opening kickoff.
Yeah, with a good counter. No passing lane though.
Really, Magic gonna play it off the wall. Pundit gonna knock it back, and again, a little bit similar to what we saw in game 2 from Dallas. They just trying to play the wide game and just not allow New York City those chances over the middle.
That's a great word for it. Discipline, just they didn't give any silly balls away, and they hit a lot better. I can tell the difference. So now it's putting big doubts into whether the sweep will happen. Grande with a good opportunity here.
Pandiga knocked away. Good save. Second ball. Magic Fire Post, right there. Knock it back to the corner. Almost an opening goal for New York City. Yanni gonna try to play this one over the middle. Can anyone get there? It's gonna be knocked away to the ceiling. Fire Post getting finished it off the crossbar. Almost the opener in game 3 for New York City. Yanni, can this one get in? Wansboro, big save. Fire Post now trying to play it back. It's going to be just above the crossbar. Magic just misses that one.
Once again, the Burns got to defend. Oh, that's the opportunity that they can't give New York City 12 right there, but the Burn recovered nicely.
A very dangerous ball for Dallas. A very dangerous ball. That almost should have been a goal for this New York City side. This ball going to walk in. Pundit! Dallas has their first lead of the game. First lead of the series, excuse me. 1-0 Burn.
Well played by Pundit. I do not know if that's the matter of the lag or just the fact that the Fire Pulse are coming from the other side of the post, not closing it, may have been a big difference. What?
All right, so we have an update for you guys. Thank you guys for being so patient. We have an update. Unfortunately, the game match will not be played tonight after all. Technical difficulties are just way too much for us to kind of get through tonight on the team side of things. So there's nothing with the stream or anything like that. We have separate issues with one of the players and their equipment. So unfortunately, we can't get into the match tonight. So the match, for the first time in our club history, the match will be a forfeit. Unfortunately, so there's no rescheduling or anything like that, which kind of sucks. But we were looking forward to this. So now Alan, so I guess now looking forward, playoffs coming up. I mean, this is kind of, in a way, this is a bit of a not the ideal situation in every way possible. I mean, it's one thing to lose and then to just have all that happen. I know we know the boys were looking forward to the match and everything. Just, things happen and this is what it is. But let's kind of talk going forward now. This team is locked for the playoffs, locked for one of the top 3 seeds. We should have final standings, hopefully after the weekend, of where we're gonna line up and where the seeding, what the first match is gonna be. But talk about just now you have the week off. Suddenly, you were in rhythm last week. You're definitely in full rhythm last week, and then everything just grinds to a halt. Like, what can that do? What can that do to the psyche of a club?
I just had the conversation with Fire Pulsa, and that is a man who has very vested interest in New York City 12. I feel like as captain, he definitely takes a lot of responsibility and the burden on his shoulders because he's putting a lot of responsibility on everyone else. I can only imagine exactly what he's feeling right now with this whole roller coaster of emotions. It's a tough deal. I mean, I have been a stakeholder for New York City 12 for 2.5 seasons. I started season 2, and we pride ourselves on making it. So I myself am utterly amazed as the development to what happened. We've never forfeited a game until tonight. We forfeited the match to El Matador, to RGV. Hey. You're welcome, SRL. We made it exciting for you. You can't say we didn't try. So we spotted everybody 3 points.
Listen, we did the one thing that the league has not done, as brings the drama, and we brought drama in the most ridiculous way possible. So I am with that. I am fully with that.
In the most unpredictable way possible. I didn't even know the lineup card. This is the nature of Supporters Rocket League. Everybody, SRL and Upstart, as an Upstart esports entity, as any other Upstart esports entity, there's going to be games within the game and the game before the game. This happens so much when I was in commentary for SRL 1 in Season 3. Why are these teams not showing up on time? How come we're doing a 3v2? That's just a matter of, I'm not surprised that this happened, especially because, everything's getting back to normal now. Everyone's still juggling their schedules. I cannot even juggle my schedule-wise, guy. We were just in quarantine. So, it's a lot even for me to deal with. We all just found out about this, so...
It's one of those things that we never had to deal with it before, so I know for us it's kind of new. Mainly because also I think as an organization, on our end at least, we do take this pretty seriously. And again, look, things happen. We're not going to discuss... We will leave at technical difficulties. We're not going to discuss fully why on stream. We can keep that within our own... We can keep that in our own house. We'll talk to the proper people. We need to... as that goes and to get that handled as we need to. With that said, it sucks, right? I think we were looking forward to casting it again. A chance at the number 1 seed, and it's just kind of like, you almost like you almost like lose your shot at it, right? And it kind of sucks in that regard. But you have to keep moving forward, and I think that's the one thing. Playoffs are right here. Just because this happened does not mean that you're completely out. Again, there's so many different reasons the situation sucks. It's to kind of, you had a chance to keep a rival at the very bottom. You have a chance to, lock a number 1 seed, if not the number 1 seed, I believe, right? And all of that. So, but you can't, the one thing you can't keep looking back till we should have played, because now it's like, okay, this happened. Let's be pissed off and be frustrated about it tonight, and then tomorrow we start getting ready for playoffs. And I think that's got to be the mentality that we have. That's got to be the mentality that this side has. And it sucks, but it is what it is. And like I said, for all sake of transparency, guys, we're gonna have the proper conversations with who we need to, and we're gonna have discussions about certain things and make sure we're ready for playoffs. And that's just what it comes down to now.
And I'm apologetic as Wise Guy is apologetic. I'm very much so apologetic because we wanted to do that. We wanted to do that. We love this game.
We'll tell you guys straight up. We look forward to this every week, right? I think when Al and I get a chance to call, it's not just like we just hop on, okay, let's do this, that, and the other. We put time to do socials. We put time to put in the ad breaks, right? Put time to, here's what we can talk about in pregame. Here's how we're going to have to flow. Here's our air check time. all that. We have our own routines individually, right? I'm usually eating dinner just beforehand. Alan's usually eating a Reese's Klondike beforehand.
Yep.
Right. So like we have our own ways of doing this, and it sucks to not be able to do that sucks. But we do see the bigger picture. We know what the goal in hand is, and we have to go through that. But with all that said, we want to thank you guys for the entire season, not just especially tonight for being patient with us, but for the entire season of of kind of just watching the matches with us and hopping in with us and going helping dealing with us through our own streaming difficulties and just kind of getting it all together. I think we have a good rhythm now with it. I would think, Alan, right? So yeah, from us to you guys, thank you so much. We're gonna cut the stream here, I guess. We just end up going in circles and whatnot. We will be back for playoffs. We will let you guys know on socials how that's gonna go. The SGL, the league itself is gonna be streaming that, if I have that right. I don't think we'll be doing dual streams, but we will have the VODs up on our own end. So we have ways we're gonna do it. Alan and I may do like a video call kind of. We don't know. We may do like a video call kind of thing, kind of see where that goes. But we do it for you guys. We thank you guys so much for your support. Alan, do you have anything else?
Yes, and congratulations, by the way, to the teams that are going to make it's the top 4 teams in each group. That SRL is split into 2 groups. The top 4 teams make the cut, and it's going to be very fascinating. But by the end of the weekend, you guys are going to be very, very intrigued at which teams do make it, and I can only guess who New York City 12 is going to get. There's been so many teams. Maybe we'll get La Cinco Doce. Maybe we'll get Steel Army or the Cauldron. That would be an amazing matchup. And El Matador again. Who knows what's going to come out over here? But we know.
Can you imagine the El Matador matchup and to start the playoffs and what that would be? That would just be so hype. I'd be excited for that one. I'd be excited for that one. KC is definitely one we've never beaten the Cauldron, so that would be a great match, especially with this roster taking on. This is a young roster taking on an older-ish roster with Kansas City. It's gonna be a great. It should be a very solid playoffs. I'm very excited for it. So, yeah, unfortunately, things happened tonight that are kind of out of our control, which sucks. So, it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, guys, to everyone who's still on, to everyone kind of hanging with us towards the end. Thank you guys so much. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you guys so much. From all of us, not just at NYC12, but at New York City Rising especially. Thank you. And we will keep you guys updated for playoffs and how we're going to handle it and what that's going to look like and where it's going to be streamed and everything. But for Alan Pandering, for the Diamond Legend, Alan Pandering, I'm Jeff Weisinger, a.k.a. Wise Guy, the Silver wannabe. We will see you guys soon. Next stop, playoffs. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
See you in the playoffs, everyone.